Welcome back to This Week in Video Games, to another Destiny 2 video. In this video I'm going to help you get your hands on Lumina, a new exotic hand cannon in Destiny 2 Forsaken as part of Season of Opulence. I'll go through how to pick up the quest, go through all the steps along the way and share my tips on how to complete the steps in the fastest way possible. So if you enjoy this video or find it useful, then subscribe and like the video for more Destiny 2 related content. So Lumina is one of the many hand cannons added to Destiny 2 Forsaken. However, this one's a little different. As well as hurting your opponents, you can heal your teammates. The Lumina quest starts out with its sister hand cannon Thorn, and you will have to find the original Thorn, pick up another legendary hand cannon Rose along the way, finally earning Lumina. It's a lengthy quest and you'll be travelling all over the solar system, taking on different activities, teaming up with the Fireteam and mastering your hand cannon skills in this exotic quest line. So we're going to go through a guide for all the quest steps for Lumina, starting out at the EDZ. So step 1, we want to find the letter from Shin Malphur on the EDZ. So first up, it's time to pick up the quest itself, which is found on the EDZ. Head towards Trostland, near where Devrim sits in his watchtower, and then go north into the salt mines. Make your way through the storage unit and through the double doors marked Soulswork, and then go towards the busted lift, which you'll recognise from the main story in the campaign. In front of the lift you'll find a teleporter which you can interact with. Go through the teleporter, up to the hill, past the Fallen, and you'll see a section sealed off by a Fallen force field, and you want to follow the path that leads upwards just to the left. Jump up into the cave and follow the path to the campsite, and if you did the Thorn quest you'll recognise this area. If not, no worries, go forward, past the fire and towards the back and you'll find a chest. Open up the chest and the Lumina quest can begin. So step number 2, you want to find Rose. So once you've read the letter from Shin Malphur, then it's time to use the calibration device and find a rose covered chest within a lost sector. The quest text will give you a clue to where it is, and the location for this step varies and it changes each hour. When I did my quest I found it on the Tangled Shore. And if you get stuck, simply search online with a location plus Lumina quest and you'll find a video or guide finding the location of the chest. So step 3 is Bearers of Evil Past, and for this step of the quest you want to generate 250 orbs. I found the fastest way for me was to drop into the blind well and do a few rounds here. You can also use a masterwork weapon to generate orbs, but wherever you go you want to drop into somewhere where you can refill your super nice and quickly. Some go to the Leviathan to farm enemies, some go into PvP, but for me the blind well was the best option considering my current loadout and who was online at the time in my clan. So step 4 is Rose Revealed, and the next step of the quest is to restore the perks on your Rose. There's a couple of sub-quest steps here to help restore those perks, and first up you want to band together. So complete a 50,000 point Nightfall, and this is pretty straightforward. Hop into a Nightfall and kill as many enemies as you can, trying to be as accurate as you can. I didn't really do anything special or specific on this part of the quest, and we managed to do it in a single run. Next up you want to face the Hordes, and for this step of the quest you can choose between either the Blind Well, Escalation Protocol or the Black Armory Forges. Heroic Blind Well runs earn the most points with the fastest way possible, with 7 points for a successful run. So out of the 3 options, when I did this I chose the Blind Well and found a few folks via the Bungie app, and we ran a few rounds and got this step done pretty quickly. Next up you want to defend the light, and you're going to go and want to kill 100 enemies without reloading your weapon. Here I equipped Sweet Business, the exotic auto rifle, while I was running the Blind Well, and again I got this step ticked off nice and quickly. So step 5 is called Fireteam Leader, and now that you've restored Rose with all its perks you need to power it up by getting kills and activities around the solar system. So you get bonus points for running with a Fireteam who also have Rose equipped. So for this part of the quest I ran Lake of Shadows in the EDZ over and over. It's quite easy to speedrun this strike, and I found a Fireteam to help me out. I think running a strike with another Fireteam with Rose equipped earned me somewhere between 10 and 12% per run, so I had to run it approximately 8 times. In the middle I did a run of the Menagerie to mix it up a little bit, but speedrunning the Lake of Shadows felt the most efficient way to complete this step of the quest. Next up is Strength in Numbers, and this step of the quest is split into 3 parts. You'll need to kill Guardians in Crucible with a hand cannon as part of a fire team, generate 50 orbs of light, and then kill an invader before they kill anyone on your team in Gambit. So first up, Guardian kills. You want to hop into PvP with a fire team and use a hand cannon to get those kills. You can use any hand cannon you want, and I used a combination of Ace of Spades and Rose and got the required kills in a few matches of quick play in Crucible. Next up, you want to generate 50 orbs, and for this step of the quest I jump back into the blind well and use my super ability to create orbs for my fire team. I managed to get this done fairly quickly as well, and you can also put on a masterwork weapon as we mentioned before to help generate orbs, but the main thing is to head into an activity where there's lots of enemies like a lost sector or blind well or escalation protocol or something like that, somewhere where you can quickly regenerate your super and create lots of orbs for your teammates. Next up, it's Deny an Invader, and this is most likely the hardest part of the quest, as you have to kill an invading opponent in Gambit before they kill anyone on your team or anyone else gets to them first. At the time of creating this guide, the Lumina quest was pretty popular, which changed the playstyle in Gambit quite a bit. I found teams weren't too likely to invade, they were kind of sitting back, so chances were few and far between. My strategy for this step was to build up my range super, which was my Hammer Titan at the time, and once an invader came in, I popped my super and then chased down the invader. It's a tough step, but once you're through this, it's onto the home straight, so don't give up here. Next up, you want to hunt crystals in the Will of a Thousands on Mars. So the objective here is to find the hive crystals that are dotted around the map and shoot them with Rose. You have to destroy 11 hive crystals in total, but there's plenty more than that dotted around the map. So make sure you take out 11 in the same run before you get to the final boss Zol. So here's where you can find the crystals. First up, in Dynamo Approach, this is right at the start of the strike. You jump on your Sparrow, clear out all the ads before hopping up onto a ledge, getting a good view of all the crystals, and there's 8 crystals here just before you enter the ice cave. Next up, it's Alton Dynamo, and after you head into the cave there's another 9 crystals here. Clear out the ads again, look up and around, and they're fairly easy to spot. So next up, it's the Ogre section, so you keep running through the strike where you get to the section with the Ogre. Kill all the ads again, look up and around, you'll see the crystals dotted there and about, and there's 9 to find here. So destroy them all and move on to the next area. Next up, it's Alton Dynamo with the Valkyrie Forge, and in the room where you throw the Valkyrie into the generator, there's another 10 crystals. So clear out all the ads, look up and destroy them all before moving on. And finally, for the crystals, there's the Zol section, so at the final battle with the boss there's another 11 crystals to be found. Before you jump down to face Zol, there's a few easy ones to pick off. Otherwise, jump down and finish up the crystals before you take on the Worm God. And once you've destroyed enough crystals, defeat Zol, and that's it. Lumina is yours. So let's take a look at Lumina's perks. So first up, we've got Noble Rounds, so kills with this weapon leave behind remnants. Absorbing a remnant converts your next hip-fired shot into an ally-seeking Noble Round, and partially refills the magazine. Next up, we've got Chambered Compensator. This is a stable barrel attachment which increases stability, moderately controls recoil, and slightly decreases handling speed. Next up, we've got Accurized Rounds, and this weapon can fire longer distances and increases range. Next up, we've got Blessing of the Sky, and using a Noble Round on an ally heals them and grants both you and them a weapon damage bonus for a short time. And finally, we've got Polymer Grip, so this weapon is made of a lighter material which increases handling speed. So overall, it's a lengthy quest, but Lumina's pretty good, it's worth it. It's got good handling speed, good range, good stability, and the fact that you can heal your teammates is a really, really good perk as well. So good luck, I hope you use this guide and it helps you find your own Lumina hand cannon. And thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then subscribe for more Destiny 2 content and a roundup of all the latest reviews, features and indie interviews from the gaming industry. Whilst you're here, why not check out these other Destiny related videos? Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon.